All right, hey there, good afternoon. Well, I guess it's good morning, everybody. It's still a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Tuesday, the 20th of July, 2021. I'm Christopher Inks with Texas West Capital, and we're going to take a look at the markets today, let you know what we're thinking, as far as everything goes. It's completely risk off right now, guys. Everything taking a hit. So if you're down about Bitcoin, don't worry, your stock brethren are down as well. As are in general your commodities guys. Oil taking a big hit lately. Bitcoin, of course, having its thing. And then, the USD continuing to rise there. We've been talking about this for quite a while. When the USD is rising, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel pain there with your other things. And so that's what's going on. I've seen so many, I tend to roll through some of the groups online, Facebook and Twitter and all these kind of things. And, everybody's all confused about why everything's falling. And I have to remind them, not everything's falling. The dollar's rising. So that's why everything else is having an issue right now. But good to see y'all checking in already here. I see we've got Q the Action was first one in today. Or the first one to say something anyway. If you don't say it, you can't say you were first. Rasta's here. Who else is here? The Real Go-Go. Hank's here. Hank says Bitcoin's not up. Data, what's going on, man? Real Go-Go says good weather vibes in the UK, but it's hot. Not Texas hot, but hot. Yeah, well, it's all right, man. The Northwest here in the US is starting to feel some heat more recently, and they're not liking it too much either. Not that we generally like it down here, but, we've become accustomed to it. We hate it still, but we know it's coming. We're used to it. Still sucks. Esteban, what's going on, buddy? Always good to see you checking in. Oscar's here as well. David Martin's, what's going on? Yeah, SPX is getting a little bit of a bounce this morning. Sure. I'm not talking about just this morning. I'm talking about last few days kind of thing, where everything's kind of just dropped. But anyway, hey, listen, guys. We've got, as I put here at the beginning, we've got an ongoing promotion right now while there's interest. So as long as there's still interest, we'll keep it going. But once there's no more interest, we'll go ahead and, kind of roll it up and put it away there. But right now you can get that annual or 6-month, the biannual Tier 3 membership subscription for 50% off of what it currently is. And they're already discounted, than what the month-to-month rate is. So, if you've ever been thinking about joining us or you really just want to learn how to trade, guys, maybe you don't know who we are, but if you really want to learn how to trade, I do everything I can to make sure there's not a better place that you can learn than where we are. I don't give you a bunch of nonsense. I don't sit here and parrot all the BS that goes on in crypto Twitter or anything like that. You get access to over 100 hours of educational video content. Tier 3 gets 3 live streams a week. Mondays is Wyckoff. Wednesdays is Tips, Tricks, and Techniques, which gives you powerful strategies you can learn to start trading on rules-based systems. So that way, even if you've never traded before, you can still trade right away while you're learning the rest of it, And then we've got on Thursdays Elliott Wave. And so, again, guys, I do everything I can to help you, learn how to trade effectively. You're going to have yahoos that come in here. That's my favorite word lately, isn't it? But they come in here and they talk a lot of crap because they're just idiots. I'll be honest with you. If you've got time to go around online and give people a hard time, you obviously don't have time to do much else in your life. You're lacking in life, right? And, so if you find yourself kind of doing that, remember that, guys. Those who have time to go around and goof off like that and act like an idiot, you're not really doing anything with your life. The rest of us, we've got things to do. Get out of our way, right? So yeah, just saying, it's what it is, man. Michael Williams, Telluride, good to see you guys. Carolak, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I know, it's the first time in a while. I haven't seen you check in a bit. Good to see you here. Scott there as well. Good to have you. So anyway, you can do that right here at howtotradetowin.com, guys. We would absolutely love to have you. And I've got something new here. So there is another platform. If you're new to trading, especially if you're in crypto Twitter, everybody pretty much uses TradingView, right? But here's the secret. TradingView is really a beginner's platform, okay? And it's more than enough for beginners, right? But if you find yourself moving beyond that beginning stage and you wish you had a bit more power in what you're doing, This is the other thing that I use, which is Motive Wave. All right. So I'll give you you can get a 14-day free trial here. There's the link right there. And then, within 8 days here, it ends Monday, July 26th. They've got this 25% off summer sale. So if you like it, it would be the time to do it. You can either purchase the platform or you can lease it. I purchased the platform. I purchased everything. So I went all in, everything. Whether you're doing Gann analysis, Hearst cycles, Elliott Wave, order flow, whatever, you can do it all on this platform. And I really like it a lot. And if you do Elliott Wave, it's got some really cool Elliott Wave tools. They can give you potential counts. But remember, guys, I want to warn you with this. Anything you're using, there's a couple of different ideas like this out there with Elliott Wave. You have to understand what you're doing because the technology is still not perfectly there yet. And you have to understand when a count doesn't look right. When it violates some rules or whatever. The good thing about the Motive Wave software is that it actually tells you. Like if it gives you a count, and on that particular count, say wave 3 is the smallest, it'll tell you, listen, this count, wave 3 is the smallest, so you have to look at how it continues to develop from there. But anyway, it's a pretty great platform, so I would say jump on it if you get a chance. At least try the 14-day free trial, guys. Set it up and whatever. If you're a member of TWC, a paying member there, I'm going to put together some videos here for all our members, tiers 1 through 3, that kind of teach y'all how to go about using it. Like I did those series of videos for TradingView. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing for Motive Wave here and kind of teach y'all how how everything works and what's available since I have everything. I bought the whole thing. And that way you can get an idea of what maybe you want to add on to or take away, as you use it. Something like that. So anyway, those will be incoming before too long here, guys. All right. Didn't someone ask about Motive Wave a while back? I don't know what you mean. Ask me about it? What about it? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Tell you, Ryder, exactly. I use the TradingView for the streams and for the all this stuff I share for you guys because I can share all those live charts and everything. And most of y'all are using TradingView. So TradingView is just the easier thing for me to use for you guys. But for me, myself, I like using this because you can do the order flow on everything else. As some of you know, I also use, oh my gosh, I just lost the, what's the platform? Okay, I can't remember what it is at the moment here. It's right off the top of my tongue. But those of you that have done order flow with me, you'll know I use another platform for that as well, usually. I can't believe I can't remember what the name of it's called at the moment here. Sierra Charts, yes, thank you. Sierra Charts. But this one here I like because it allows you to do so much within it, But it's a lot more user-friendly than Sierra Charts. You guys have to understand, the longer you're trading, the more power that you want with what you're doing, the less user-friendly it's going to be, the more effort you're going to have to put into it. So I would put Motive Wave between TradingView, which is the easy, this is the top, the kind of the glamour stuff, the really easy to get through. And then Sierra Chart is lower down. It takes more to learn how to use it because it's got so much more functionality, so much more power in your hands on how you want to do it. And then Motive Wave, I would put like right in between them. Motive Wave's a great movement off of the really basic, but without getting really, like I said, if you haven't used Sierra Wave, it's a lot more in depth with what you're doing there. So yeah. Do I still use tensor charts? I don't. I haven't done that in a while. And as a matter of fact, I started using another one called, I can't even think of what that one's called. Trading Light. But I haven't even used that in a while. I'm sitting here paying for it every month, and I rarely ever pull it up. Just kind of really going off charts more than anything else. So yeah, tensor charts, man. I haven't thought about that in a while. Yeah, the Trading Light came up. And I started using both of them, and then I started using more Trading Lights, so I let the tensor charts go. And then now I don't even really use them at all. Oh, you can get that same kind of info in Motive Wave, though, guys. You can get the same kind of info that you get in Trading Light and tensor charts also on it. So a lot on there, guys. Yeah, Sierra's great. I mean, like I said, if you're a power user, if you want a lot more power in your hands when you're charting, if you want to work with the functionality a lot more, Sierra Chart's the way to go. But if you're brand new to trading and all this, and especially, maybe if you don't have much of a, most traders aren't the kind that really like to get in there and dig in. But if you are, Sierra Chart's definitely a great way to go. Motive Wave's a great, like I said, a complement between both of them. Gives you a lot of power, a lot of different things you can do. And like I said, with the Elliott Wave, it gives you potential Elliott Wave counts and whatnot. But if you really want that full functionality, Sierra Charts has that. But again, that has that very steep learning curve there you have to get through. Yeah, Sierra's for pros. Exactly. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Good to see you. So anyway, that's kind of what this is here. Again, it is what I use personally. It is what I own. I'll bring it up here. You know what? As a matter of fact, Friday, guys, I'll bring it up Friday so you guys can see it. If I bring it up right now, you'll see all my passwords and everything as I log in. I didn't have it set up, so I don't want to do that at the moment because it'll pull up right here in front of you. But yeah, I'll do that on Friday and kind of show you it a little bit, give you guys a little as we're looking at the charts on Friday. But like I said, if you're with us with at Discord, paid TWC member, tier 1, 2, or 3, you'll have access to the videos I'll put together showing you how to use it, get the most out of it. So anyway, there you go, guys. Bitcoin, what's going on with Bitcoin? Man, oh man, a lot of people brokenhearted, right? We've had this continuing to go down. I notice we don't have many of the influencers saying to buy the dip now. We do have really ridiculous comments like, oh, $50,000, dropping from 65 to 29 isn't a crash. Oh, yeah, it is. That's a significant that's a significant loss there, guys. That's over 50%. And, and all the narratives that, well, it is, Bitcoin's done worse. Well, sure it has, but it doesn't mean it's not what it is right now, Is Bitcoin in a, has it become a more prolonged bear market? Or is this just, the fourth wave before the final blowout, the Q4? We're going to find that out, guys. Still right now, I've told you guys, I don't know. I'm still holding to the idea that this may be just a 4 before a 5. I don't necessarily think that it's the top at the moment. It doesn't have to be the top at the moment. We're going to have to see how this plays out right now. A lot of it depends on what goes on here. So here's the thing. If you believe that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal here, something we've talked about time and time again, it could be. We don't know for sure, guys. There are a lot of people out there going to tell you it definitely is this or that. You're not going to get that nonsense from me because I respect y'all more than that to give you BS, okay? There is no guarantees. Somebody might believe this is the way it ends, and that's fine. But to say that this is definitively what's going on, that's silliness. But if you believe that, then, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 done here. All right? Or this is a 4, this is a 5, still working on here, which means it's only A, or it's going to be A, and then you got B, and then you got a C further down, which means I believe would probably be in a bear market for, a while more as we do this. But here's the thing. If this is that other account, which we've been kind of following, which says maybe we've got this flat going on here. So we've got ABC down and then ABC up and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 4. And then this is, working on a 5 maybe as an ending diagonal here. Well, then that'll be it. And then we'll head up. Okay. So, right now we don't know which one of those it is. We know either one's possible. Right now, we have to see, does price drop below the swing low? That remains the area where we're looking at. If we can get a rally before it gets below this swing low and it pops up above this red descending resistance here, that increases the odds that we've probably got 5 down as an A, and then we're working on a B. And that B should get you up here to that 38.2 to 50% area. That's the wave 4 area here, okay? So I would be looking, if we can get a breakout of this, I still want to see an impulsive breakout above the daily pivot there, but if we can at least get a breakout above this red resistance, that increases the odds that we may be going at least to 39,220 or so and potentially 43,176. Now, it doesn't have to stop there. It could actually continue going up here, to 61.8 or 78.6 or whatever. I just think those are much less likely. I think we get this ABC going up here, kind of like this, and then we'll get 5 down, probably toward, we have this this demand structure here. The EQ sits right here at around 17,800, 17,900. So I would think that yellow box, which is actually this area here, it's the top of the 2017 all-time high there. I think if we're going to do this as an A down and then a B up and a C down, I think that'll probably catch C and finish it off, and then we'll have the move back up. And at that point, again, I did this for Discord last night, I believe. And I think we were looking at something like 145,000 and a half target. So, I mean, honestly, guys, as a trader, I would love to see it come down here to this 17,000s and then get to ride that up to 145,000. But I'm, either way, I'm going to trade it either way, whether, this is the bottom here or it comes down to 23 and then goes up, or it comes down here. Right now, it's all dependent on, do we lose the swing low? If we lose the swing low, we're continuing lower. Now, in that case, what I think may be going on is that right here we have this A, B, C, D, E. I say A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got this leading diagonal. And then we're 3 up, and then we're coming down here again. So I think we may have like a 1 here, and then this becomes a 2 up here at this swing high, right around the 36.8 or so. And then we'll have a 3, 4, 5, and that's likely to get us around that 23,000 area, right above this S2 daily pivot. So we'll get it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but basically as an ending diagonal type thing, I think. That might just have a bear trap here, a spring down below, and then back up. And so, if we can get that, then we'll look for that up there. But, again, right now, it just depends on, do we get below the swing low or not? Do we get below the swing low or not? Again, if we rally above the descending resistance, that gets us a target of this yellow box up here, this yellow range. And then we look to probably getting down to the 17,000s. If we just drop through, then again, there's no B there. That suggests to me that we are probably looking at this as a flat correction here. ABC down for A, ABC up for B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then ending diagonal is 5 to that 23,000 area. So, I mean, there's possibilities for Bitcoin here. As a trader, I would love 23. I would love 17 even better, even more. But, I'm willing to take whatever it gives us. Now, obviously, this could be, again, ABC down, ABC up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be 5 and done. This could just be, if we look here, it's still possible this is a 1, and then we've got a flat correction here. So A, B, C, just pulling really, really low here. You see this wave 2 just finishing out really low. But as long as it reverses prior to that swing low, it's, again, a 1, and then an A, B, C as a flat. And so in that case, before I get really excited about that, I would need to see price getting above that 61.8. I need to see it getting back up into this range up here of this 70.5 and higher. Even that doesn't guarantee it'll be it, but I'm going to start feeling a lot more positive of that if we do. So if we get the breakout descending resistance, I want to see the yellow range first. If we go through that, I'm looking at 61.8, 70.5 will take us into the range. And then once we're into that range, this previous range, then I'll start seriously considering that maybe the bottom is done here. This is 4, and this is 1, 2 heading up. But if we just get up to yellow range there and then reject and drop out back below this swing low, that gives us then this 17 and change target there. Let me catch up with you guys here. I just wanted to say that real quick. As always, guys, I'll answer your questions here. Let me see here. Andrew says, Wyckoff spring loaded on the daily Bitcoin. This is possibly spring here. This could be a secondary test. This could be another secondary test. The thing that gives me the most, if I need something that tells me, you know what, really, maybe the bottom might be in. The reason why I don't sit here and tell y'all it's definitely going down is because we've got continued loss of volume here. Volume continues to contract. And in reaccumulation areas and in accumulation areas, that's what you expect to see. You see volume contracting throughout the process. If you're in a distribution or redistribution, you'll see a lot more spikes of volume throughout. But here, it's all continued down. And so when I talk up here, this is distribution up here. And notice how you've got the volume expansion here as it drops, right? I mean, look at this, coming into it. Before you even get to the swing low, you've got volume expanding, right? Here, we're coming down here, and volumes are pretty much just, you know, coming down or staying average here. It's not doing the same thing that you would see here. I'm trying to give you all a visual. And so, you know, if I'm looking at that, I'm going, well, you know, that's a lot of possibility. You know, maybe this is a spring, and then we've got a you know, secondary test here, or a test of that spring here, and then we've got another test of the spring over here. Sometimes it tests more than once. The volume keeps dropping off on these lows. You had the first drop here, which was this huge spike of volume, which you should expect. We drop below with this spring-like going on here. We're drop below the swing low here. Much less volume than what we had here. This pullback, less volume than what we had there. And now this one here, you know, like half the volume of what we had here. So your volume's decreasing, which means interest is decreasing, less supply coming in. Because either you're going to get a lot of supply coming in, it's going to send price down, like this, like this here. Like what happened here, the volume expansion as it came down. Or you're just not, you know, there's just going to be no real volume, and it's going to turn around and head back up. And so that's what we're kind of looking at here. Don't let anybody, you know, tell y'all otherwise that something's definitely going to happen. They might be right, they might be wrong. But this idea that they definitely know what's going to happen is a bunch of BS. And y'all are going to get caught. All right? Let's see here. Hank says, what is it? He says, in a fight to maintain market structure, in his opinion, if we don't hold 24-ish, we have a bigger time frame correction, because then the all-time high was the end of the first impulse wave starting in 2011. Now, see, if you're going to say something like that, then you're talking back to what I was talking about previously, which was a flat correction, right? Which means we had wave A at the 2018 low, wave B at the, up here, was this April? At the April high. And then we'll have wave C, which will take us down to $1,000 or a little bit below that. That's what would necessarily happen. Oh, well, the other thing could be a running flat. In which case, if this was the end of the first run there, if that was wave 5, then this is A, this is A, B, C is B, and then you have C coming back down here. Now, usually, you know, this is a big move up, so we look for a big move down below where wave A is. Again, $1,000 less, right? The other possibility, of course, is that this could be a running flat, in which case we would look for a 61.8 retracement, which means probably around this 12 to 15 area. So A, B, and then 5 down, and then takes off. So that would be, you know, a 1, and then an A, B, C is a 2, and then take off. Lots of possibilities out there. I'm glad you brought that up, Hank. You know, something we talked about previously. My only thing I don't like about that is how high this has gone compared to where we were here. That's a significant move up. That's more like a wave 3 up here. So, you know, 1, 2, 3 rather than a B. But these are guidelines, you know, and so could potentially be. Again, we will need to see how things continue to configure here. Now, here's the thing, though. If this is a running flat here, if this was 1 off of 2010, and this is A, and this is B, and this is C here, holy crud, the upside on a wave 3, guys, I can't, oh my gosh, I don't even know where it would be right now. It would be huge. It would be huge. I mean, you know, by the time we got to wave 5, we're probably talking upper 6 figures, potentially 7 figures in that particular case. I said mid to upper, I guess, in the 5s there. Because, again, this would be from December 2010, that would be 1 all the way up here. And this would be 2. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Hank, I'm really glad you brought that up, man, because let's talk about that. I just saw something where they were looking at metrics for institutional investors, and they have put more money into Bitcoin. They have bought more Bitcoin Q1 of this year than at any other time. Now, we know there was a sell-off leading from Q1 into Q2 there. You remember we showed you the I showed you the chart on that, which was showing selling going from January into April, into March or April. But think about this. So why would that be? Well, here's the thing. You're going to get a running flat correction like that when things are super bullish overall. That's why you get the extended B wave, and then you get the short C wave. It doesn't even come back to wave A, which is where a flat normally comes, or below it, which is where it should be for an expanded flat when B goes so high. And it does that because there's so much demand. And so if that's true, and all these institutions saying they expect to own so much Bitcoin by 2026. I mean, if all this is actually true and plays out, I mean, it gives you a good narrative for this being 1 and this being 2 here. Let me go ahead and pull up the BLX chart. For those of you that don't know, look for the Brave New Coin Liquid Index. Don't go off your exchange charts, because those charts only start where the exchanges started. This one gets you all the way back here to 2010. Here's your bigger account here, possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, working on 5 here. But depending on how you count this here, because of this area right here, really, Hank's suggesting maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, if I'm right here, and a 5 up here. And again, this would get you this 5 would be here. So that would be 1, A, B, C as a running flat correction, and then just kind of taking off. So there's a lot of really bullish potential over long term. Don't blow your wad. Don't blow your cash, your capital, before you get to that point, guys. All right? Don't trade against the trend overall. I give lots of thoughts on ideas, on more interior ideas, because I know a lot of you do it anyway. Trying to give you at least intelligent areas to look at for breakouts and breakdowns and whatnot. But we always talk about those larger levels, Those are the more important ones, because anything, especially when you're going to prolonged sideways, anything can happen in that. But whatever time frame you're on, you want to trade that trend with an idea of what the larger trend is, what the larger time frame trend is. Let me see here. Yeah, if we're building a pennant here, so you mean like a triangle? Yeah, I mean, let's go back over here. Well, where's your ABCs then? I mean, I'm not even sure. Maybe from here, and this is like ABC is A, but this is clearly 5 down. I mean, to me, it looks pretty clear to be a 5 down here. I don't know. I think the pennant idea may have already been played out. You'll have to attach some there on Twitter there for me, Hank, if you've got an image, and I'll check it out later. Right now, my brain isn't working with a pennant right now. So there might be one that could be playing out, but I'm just, at the moment, not really seeing it. Let me see here. What's going on, Michael Otis? You saying inverse head and shoulders. What are you talking about? Right here? Let's kind of close this up. You mean like left shoulder, head, right shoulder? No. No. I don't like that at all. It's very, very off. I mean, that alone doesn't say it can't be, but usually, head and shoulder patterns are a bit more symmetrical. They're not quite so jacked. I mean, because again, if this is going to be left shoulder up here, head here, and right shoulder, and usually you want most of your volume to come in the head, because that's your spring to get the movement off. So your pullback for your right shoulder, it's like a 1, 2 for your right shoulder, and 3 is the breakout of the neckline. So usually, your largest volume will usually come in your head there. And then lesser volume, of course, on the other sides there. I mean, again, these are guidelines. These aren't rules. But when you see it that way, usually it's a lot more effective. Sver, what's going on? Could the RSI support on the weekly from the beginning of the cycle? Let me get over here. On the weekly from the beginning of the cycle, 2018 low dictate the bottom of this wave 4. All right, let me find your 2008. I mean, this one. Whoops. 2018, my bad. Where's 2018? There we go. Where's December? Right here. And you're asking, let's see here. You're asking what now? Could the RSI support on the weekly from the beginning of the cycle dictate the bottom? Oh, so I see. You're drawing a line here on this, right? So you're drawing this right here. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It doesn't have to be, but it's definitely possible. Sure, sure. I would be interested, now that you bring this up, I'd be interested in watching that. Sure. And, I think to me that would dictate a possible 23,000 area, I think, if it was to get down here. I think if you're doing 17, you're probably dropping below it. But I guess it would depend on how quick you were down at 17. If it was just a dip down to 17 and rocket back up 5 or 6 grand right afterward, before it closes, that your RSI would drop down and then potentially close back way up higher. But yeah, I would definitely watch that. You brought that up there, sure. Telluride says Bitcoin seems like the boxer that's still standing but just keeps taking hits from the MSM FUD. It's still so very early if it doesn't get shut down. Yeah, you know what it kind of reminds me of what's going on here, honestly, guys? Because you don't expect anything else from me, right? You expect honesty, right? What's going on here seems a lot like what was going on here. Now, this is obviously a much larger time frame here. But the way in which it's playing out right here seems a lot like this right here. So that, that kind of gives it, that's that bearish side of it. Go, it just seems like it's just rolling over here. I mean, especially look at this weekly. I mean, it just looks like it's just weak and rolling over. Here you got this move back up and then immediately rolls back, comes on down. There's not even no, extended move up. It was just the initial demand and now nothing left to follow through. You see that? So that's what I'm looking at there. Hank thinks if we taste the previous all-time high, he thinks we go much lower. 10K is still a pretty target if we don't do the pennant thing here. Yeah, again, lots of reasons for, 12K, 10K, 9, 65, 40, 4,000, 4,100, 3,000. And below that, there's a lot of reasons for all those levels. Sure. I think on these larger time frames, we've got the weekly pivot here at 20,800, 20,900 kind of area. I think everything else aside, I think an impulsive breakdown that closes below, especially further below this pivot, I think really opens up further downside, at least the S1 here, which is 12,185. And then probably beyond that. I don't think we move much with the monthly pivot here. Not really. So yeah, I mean, I agree there. I think there's a lot of possibility if we're moving through that. I think if we dip down below and close back up and leave a wick on the daily here, that's fine. I think that pivot will probably hold then. I think it's just if we get a strong impulsive breakdown on the weekly that closes near the lows of that candle, I think that signals, and it closes below the pivot there. Especially, I mean, yeah, if it's right by it, okay. You've got some support right here. It could still possibly turn right up and head back up on the next weekly. But I think especially if you're getting down here around, 16,000 or something below this demand structure here, I think that's where you really potentially can head much lower. And like I said, in that case, it's possible this is some huge B. And then we've got some C coming down here, maybe down here to $1,000. And this is where everybody leaves right now and tells me what a loser I am and whatnot. But you know what? Hey, listen, if that's your response to it, you just don't understand market action, price action. You don't understand the possibilities of what goes on. And that's fine. Go ahead and leave. You're cool. You can go ahead and do that. But hopefully, those of you that are here are just understanding these are possibilities and ways that we look at things, right? Nobody wants to believe that these things can happen. But they can. For right now, again, I mean, gosh, man. If we were to go down here right now, my plan, if we were to get back down here to these areas I bought back in 2017 originally, if we were to get back there, right now, my plan would be to load up pretty big. Now, if we're getting down there and something's going on against the Bitcoin, worldwide governments and whatnot, anything can happen. My opinion might change at that point. But as long as it's just like some continuation, again, like this is wave 1, and this is A, this is B, and this is C of some expanded flat correction. Oh, man, that would be a beautiful... You wouldn't have long to buy there, but, man, it would be a beautiful place to buy. And then you're looking at, well over 100 grand. So you're getting in at 1,000, running well up over 100. Probably mid sixes, if not upper sixes at least. I mean, so that would be a huge, huge return. So... it is what it is, right? It's, if you're in Bitcoin right now, guys, you have to understand if Bitcoin's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, we're in the very early stages still. So there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of movement like that. You should have your eye on the longer term game, unless you are purely doing day trading, in which case, you don't care what goes on as long as the price is moving, right? Let me see here. Oscar saying 10,000 might sound bullish in the upcoming months because of everything that's going on. Hey there, Sparrow Architect. Good to see you checking in. Michael thinks that the volume profile supports the inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, like I said, I want to see more volume in the head. And I don't like that with it there, that we got absolutely nothing here. We were there and that was it. And now we're almost back to the head here. It makes it a very, very iffy head and shoulders if it was going to be one. Now, what you would need to see is you would need to see some larger candle spreads, expanding candle spreads, and volume as you come out here and break out of this this neckline. So, this would look kind of like... I can go and clean this Kraken chart here. It's fine. Again, you'd be looking like this. This is what you're looking at, right, Michael? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what you're looking at. Oops. No. I don't. No. That's how it would be. I don't like that. Your neckline breaks down through it there. It breaks down here below where you're already breaking out and falling back in. You would, the idea is that your neckline would need to be clean. Shouldn't have any breakout through it. But if you draw this, if this is the inverse head and shoulders that you're seeing, your neckline comes down to these 2 points. The completion of your left shoulder and the start of your right shoulder. Right there. And so that just, again, you've got price all over that. So yeah, I'm really don't think it's an inverse head and shoulders. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see how this works out as one. Because that's your neckline. And you've already broken down, fallen back, and whatever with it. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, Hank, you're thinking that 20,000 was wave 3, 60 was wave 5. Oh, you're thinking about 1 of 5 going up there. Okay, so my bad, guys. Hank is thinking potentially, let's see here, 20 there. So you're thinking 20,000 was 3. So you're thinking maybe something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something. No, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I don't like about that? I don't like that this wave 2 is so large here and the wave 3 would be so tiny. I don't like that. There's no flow in that. And remember, Elliott Wave is all about structure, guys. It's not about price. It's not about time. It's about structure, which means, you know, where it's looking, what's the word? I don't know. But where it's looking like, you know, like it makes sense. I mean, this is right here. If 20,000 up here is, unless I'm misunderstanding you, Hank, you know, you got 260 versus 9. I wouldn't call that a 3 right there. If this is 1, 2, 3 here. But again, I may catch up with you there. I may be missing it wrong there. Let's see here. Oh, you tweeted it to me over in Twitter? All right, let me pull that up real quick, guys. See what Hank's got here. Oh, that's that right there. That's the triangle there. What do you got that going down there? I can't even tell. I don't know what level you're looking at here. What was that about? Man, I don't even know where that is. Is that 23 area maybe? My only thing I don't like about that, this is the thing I struggle with this type of count right here, with the idea that we're, okay, so this has to be an ABC going down here. So if we're looking at that, you know, again, this has to be an ABC coming down toward this area. And so we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially a 5. And then you got this really tiny B here. So you got this really large A, very tiny B. Again, it's not that it can't be, but it just, when you have that sort of dissonance between the two, you know, often it's not usually correct. You know, again, symmetry is the word I was looking for when we were talking about your 1 and your 3 over here. So, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against it playing out. I would definitely, it would need to prove it, though, to me. You know, you'd have to, because this would be, again, B here. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I could see it, but it would have to prove it out to me. So we'd have to see the move down and then 3 up. And then, you know, kind of keep working at it. Hey there, Boris. Good to see you checking in. So yeah, I'm definitely not saying that can't be. Man, that would be a while, though. That would play out. I don't know that it would play out through fall of next year, but it would definitely play out at least through the end of the year, I think. If it was going to. It would take a while for that to play out, I think. It doesn't have to. You know, these could end up being pretty quick movements here and then finish, but yeah. What's going on, Mark? Good to see you. Let me see here. Crypto Pillar, what's up? Says, I'm not up as much as I'd like to be, but at least I'm not down. Hey, good to hear that, man. Thanks for everything. Been here the whole time. Happy trading, folks. Be smart, not greedy. Exactly. You got to be smart, guys. You don't buy the dip just because price drops, because it can continue dropping a lot more. You see? You got to be smart about it. You got to look for areas to buy the dip. Don't just buy the dip just because it dipped. Afraid that you're going to miss the run up. You know what? If it does reverse at that dip and it goes up a bit, look for confirmation. You guys, you know, what you don't notice is you lose most of your money because you're not looking for confirmations. You're just trying to get in because you're purely emotional. You're scared you're going to miss out. Oh my gosh, what if I don't buy here and it shoots up 20,000? Well, what if you do buy there and it drops 20,000? I mean, you see what I'm saying there? Look for your confirmations, guys. Double bottom on the 15-minute, Diego. Joy, what's up? Says, I noticed you have Stoke RSI and RSI on every chart. Do you use them for confluence? Are they only reliable when oversold for a move? So the way that I use RSI and Stoke RSI, I've explained this before. The way I look at RSI, think of it like your speedometer on your car, and think of your Stoke RSI like your tachometer, all right? So you've got all these revolutions in here that, the more revolutions you're getting here, the more that this one will move. And so that's generally like I look at this to give me this idea of the strength of this here. What's going on with the RSI? I use Stochh RSI for that. Yeah, so that's what I do. Most people don't look at it that way. Most people don't really know how to use them. But remember, your RSI is a derivative of price. It gets its calculations include price, right? What's going on with price? Your RSI, your Stochh RSI is based on your RSI itself. So your Stochh RSI is telling you what your RSI is doing, and your RSI is attempting to tell you what your price action is doing. But it's all about momentum. So yeah, I use Stochh RSI to understand what's going on with the momentum in RSI. Or to attempt to, anyway. Let me see here. Let's catch up with you guys here. Data says, for his taste, there isn't enough blood in the streets yet. That last drop, like around 2019, would feel just right. Of course, we don't trade on feelings, but we're still allowed to have them, aren't we? Well, as long as you don't let them control you. Yes, yes. Not just in trading, but in life. Let me see here. Hey there, Bill. Good to see you checking in as always. A sweltering 32 degrees Celsius in the UK. For those of you that understand what Celsius temperature is, there you go. For the rest of us over here in the US, we don't know what that means. Pretty sadly, I know, right? We are an interesting bunch here in the US. Oh, man. Let me see here. The larger 5 count I'm referring to in your tweets, too. Okay, let me check over here. It's in my tweets, too. Did you put it on this one? Oh, okay. What's Hank got here? That's 2000. Yeah, 2014 there. 3, 4. I guess. Yeah, lots of possibility in that. You're just looking for a pullback to this previous area of support here, which isn't necessarily a terrible area. There's a lot of confluence here. You had this one before it broke down, and then it came up and again found support in that area before going up. So, yeah. That's definitely a possibility, sure. That's what I keep telling you guys. There's a lot of possibilities right now with where we are. So Hank's looking for a pullback toward... let me see here. Which, if that's correct, again, still looking at a large reversal. Or, a large move up afterward. But Hank's watching this area right here. Overall. He's just looking at this high volume node right here. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's some possibility in that. I mean, you definitely can't say it's not. That's for sure. Let me see here. Let me get back out here to the weekly. Gosh, let me come way back over here. Hank's looking at linear. Linear drives me nuts. Probably right around there. Pretty close. Let's see here. Coordinates. Well, no, we don't do no negatives here. What you talking about? So Hank's looking at this 9,400 area. Yeah, there's definitely possibility they could get down there like that. Sure. I'm just kind of looking at this at the moment here. I mean, you just have to make this fit in here. I think Hank's just really going by the fibs right now, which is a lot of Elliott Wave, again, where those fibs end up. Again, it's all about that structure. A lot of people want to know, well, how long is it supposed to take? And, again, guys, when you're doing Elliott Wave is about the structure of the movement, not about price, not about time. So yeah. Black Man's Guide to Bitcoin. What's up, buddy? Good to see you checking in. Bill let me know that 32 degrees Celsius is 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey, welcome to spring in Texas, Bill. Oh, man. Hey, Ernest, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you checking in as always. Definitely check out the beginning. We're going over a few different possibilities here, depending on what price, what happens with price. Again, guys, the goal is always just to understand what the possibilities are, and then with those possibilities, understand where your validation and invalidation levels are. If you can do that, you're going to be a pretty successful trader over time, I tell you. But it's when we start believing that things necessarily must happen or must not happen, that's where it gets us into trouble. And that's where we start having a lot of problems with what we're doing there. I like this high volume node down here at around $467. I like that one. I'll tell you what, if I could buy it at $467, man, wow, that'd be amazing, right? $350, somewhere right around there. I don't think we're getting there, but anything can happen. I would love to buy there if we did, though, that's for sure. Weekly, again, we're still not reset into oversold yet, so could still, continue saying that we've got that further downside, which we're potentially looking at. Monthly. Now here, monthly's interesting. You've got the swing. Is this going to be the dip? Yeah. So you've got this. This is that March of 2020 low here. You can get this to close below that without price coming all the way down below there. So it's possible we could see a hidden bullish divergence forming here on the monthly, especially since we're already dipping down into oversold on it. So with that move down, depending on how far it goes down here, we could see the monthly potentially close. If this were to happen, we're supposed to maybe say we've got, 11 more days at the end of this month. So if we were to have a stronger move down right toward the end of the month, right before the monthly close, to lock it in down there, this down here and oversold, and this one maybe dropped right below here, you could see a hidden bullish divergence printing on the monthly, in which case it would denote that the bottom is probably right around that area. But, again, it doesn't have to get, because it wouldn't likely get here, this, on the BLX here, that's right around 39.41. It wouldn't get there. Just getting down anywhere in this area would potentially pull that RSI down below there and give you that hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. So, yeah. Digital Mining Solutions, what's up? Says, I live just south of Seattle. It got to 111 degrees Fahrenheit the other week. Thank God for Central Air. Yeah, y'all giving us a hard time about all our winter stuff this past year. Welcome to Texas weather. Hopefully you guys are doing okay, though, man. We know how bad that is, especially if you're not used to it. It sucks if you're used to it, so it's really bad if you're not. Yeah. Moogs wants to know what is the most probable at this point for Bitcoin end of year. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm going to be, you realize things change fast. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people out there that are going to pontificate on the end of the year. Pontificate, that's a big word. But the reality of it is there's too much unknown at the moment here. So it really kind of, first of all, depends on, excuse me. Right now, the first thing it depends on is what is going on locally, okay? So, first step is, do we drop below this swing low right here? If we don't, if we can get a reversal from above it here, then we've got two options. One is this is the bottom and it's going up. The two is this is just A, and then this is A, B, C for B, and then we'll have the further down. So the first thing we have to see is, do we even get a drop below this swing low? And if we don't, does it get rejected here at this 38.2 to 50% or even the 61.8 and then drop back down, or does it continue up? So it's really too hard to say what's most probable by the end of the year because of what's going on here right now. I think if we were to get this move down to 23, one of those scenarios we talked about, if we can get a reversal out of 23, say this finishes 5 down here because this is an A, this is a B, and then this is 5 down for C. And we pop back up. I mean, I think end of the year we could see something similar to 2017, where we have this large reversal, this just crazy Q4. But man, that's coming up. We're near the end of July. That gives us about 2 months before it would really start kicking in. So we got 2 months to get down there. And then start kind of heading up. Remember, it was really kind of November into December that things really got out of hand. So I would, if it's going to do that, I would expect something pretty similar this time. So, you would position there, you would start the beginning of that move up there as you ended Q3 and into Q4, getting into that August, September area. October starts getting a little wild, and then November, December getting all wild and woolly there, a little crazy going up. But I wish I could give you something better than that, man. But I'll be honest with you, anybody that does is just, I think they're just blowing smoke up your rear end, man. Because there are too many variables right now. That's the problem. Too many variables to really give a strong, this is what's most likely to happen or not. But yeah, so I mean, if we can get this move up through here and then continues up there, I mean, I think at that point we're looking 6 figures into the year, quite likely. If we get the move down to 23 and then a nice move up from that, I think, again, still looking at 6 figures by the end of the year. I think anything else that we've been looking at makes it a lot more difficult. But that could change depending on how fast the move down happens. A rapidly moving downward move followed by, a catch and then, a rally back up pretty good. I mean, that could set everything else much, much better into motion. It's just right now, it really is just too early to really tell. So yeah, I wish I could give you more, man. Telluride is 90 degrees where he's at. Very comfortable in the shade, no humidity. This is Texas, man. Our shade are our mesquite bushes. Now we got oaks around here and whatnot. Let me see here. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at, man. We spent a lot of time talking about Bitcoin here, but I know a lot of you guys, Bitcoin's your bread and butter. That's where you're at. You may not even be in anything else, and that's what you're kind of concerned about. I think Bitcoin overall just kind of relies on what's going on here with the DXY. I think as long as the DXY continues to fly higher, it poses a lot of issues for Bitcoin. It's possible we could see Bitcoin just doing bearish stuff for another year. If the dollar continues to rise. I mean, again, it doesn't. I got people. I've seen Raul, and I got a lot of respect for Raul. Over at Real Vision, I have a subscription to that. It's good stuff. But I think he's more emotional about cryptocurrencies at the moment. He says, oh, somebody asked him about, well, what if the dollar continues rising? He says, oh, no correlation. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you can do what he's done in the past and say, oh, well, you're not going to feel anything in Bitcoin. Because again, Bitcoin and cryptos in general are very risky assets. And, if the dollar's running up, risk assets are off, which means they're sold. They're not bought. So I haven't heard a good reasoning from him why he would feel that way. So yeah. I'm trying to figure it out though. I'm trying to figure out if there's something I'm missing in what he's saying. I think long term, maybe he's just talking about long term. I think longer term, it's not a big deal. This is just one big, huge buying opportunity with tens of thousands of dollars of movement, right? But I don't think that works for most of y'all because you don't have millions of dollars sitting there, right, guys? So where you can buy within this very large range and still make a comfortable return, as it moves up a bit. Most of y'all I think are much smaller, right? Very, very small. And so buying within a very large range just doesn't make sense. It doesn't gel with what, with how he's thinking, I think. But I think just with his background and everything, he's got to be thinking long term. Yeah. Telluride says he's full fundamental bull on Bitcoin with the exponential age. Okay, yeah. So what I was just saying, I think that's what it's got to be. But I think when they were asking him, I think they were talking about more localized, like right now. If Bitcoin, if the dollar continues going up for the next year, what's that going to do? And he says, oh, no correlation, I think he was just answering in terms of his thinking of a longer term, larger idea rather than the other one. No, I don't want to become famous. Goodbye. He did a free YouTube video on that a bit back. I got to go look. Thanks for letting me know. I got to go look. Man, I appreciate you guys when sometimes you guys watch a lot of different stuff out there, and I love it because you kind of let me know, like, hey, did you see this and whatever. And sadly, most of the time my answer to you guys is no, because I do so much, I don't have the time. But, when you guys do share something with me, especially when you give me like a time point in it where it's talking about what you're interested in, man, I greatly appreciate that because it lets me understand more your question or something that you're thinking, the process that you're going through. And, it enables me to give you better answers and whatnot. And it lets me know what other people are thinking as well. So I like that. Moog says, looking long-term, but I like listening to this stuff to give me a feeling for the market. Yeah. I mean, I think even if you're doing long-term, it's important to understand what's going on shorter term as well. Just to kind of, I think because Bitcoin is so new, it's such a new market, cryptos in general, I think it's good to pay attention to what's going on in them shorter time frames to see how they relate to the larger picture. Yeah. So right now with what's it called here? DXY, the dollar. I've got this count kind of coming off the bottom here, where we've got maybe 1, 2 here, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll get this one here as a leading diagonal here, so we'll get a bit of a pullback, and then we should continue up higher there. Bigger picture, remember, guys, is this right here. Possible double bottom. Breakout above swing high here at 93.437 would confirm it. That gives us a possible target up here based on the height of that pattern of 97.625. Looking at that, again, my count comes down here with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, breaking above wave 4 here at 94.742 is a good hint that bottom's probably in. Like I said, in doing so, it's already done this double bottom thing here. Potential Adam and Eve double bottom. So a lot of possibility on the daily here. We're just now starting to move up on the Stochk RSI. RSI still has a lot of room to go. 3-day, we're topped out there. Weekly, we're up here. Not quite topped out here in Stochk RSI and overbought yet. RSI still has room as well. If we're zooming out to the monthly is where I think monthly is kind of potentially where it's at here. Again, we've got this hidden bullish divergence on the monthly here from the January 18 to December of 20, 2-year lower low. And then we've got higher low right here. Again, the range in which it's dropping through here was this previous swing high back in February, March of 09, which was the bottom of the market after the great financial crisis. And as you can see, bounced off higher though here. So it's like, as I often talk about, when you've got this range here, for instance, this supply structure here, and you rally just right through it like there's nothing there, usually you come back and bounce, you retest it. And that's what it did here. Set up some more buys, set up some more demand right here. Went up, came back, hit this demand again, trying to send it back up once more. Again, if we're breaking impulsively out of this monthly pivot up here at 94.2, I mean, it's hard to argue that the bottom may not be in. I mean, just trading pivots, everything else aside, Just trading pivots. We moved in between the pivot and the S1. We're finding support at the previous swing low. If we rally impulsively and close, well above that pivot, I mean, that's a screaming case for that bottom to be in there. But until all that happens, of course, we can still fall further. And, we've got the S1 pivot here at 85.31 on the monthly. So that would be my initial target where I'd look. As you can see, that's this previous kind of area here. But again, this monthly thing where we've got here, if we continue to look left, that's a consistent area of support and demand all the way from back here in the 80s. So it makes a strong case for a possible, reversal off that area there. So we'll just have to see what happens when we do it. Q Hanks mid 80s. Humble is a great place to start from and to remain. That's true. Yeah. What's going on, Mike Lamb? I see you checking in, buddy. Oscar says yearly open over the previous all-time high over 4 digits. DXY at 100 plus. COVID next wave hitting autumn. Vaccine for new variant coming. January 22nd, spring 22nd cases drop. Bitcoin starts pumping again. Late 22nd, early 23. Man, Oscar, you're killing people, man. Don't tell them they got to wait till, Q4 of 22, Q1 of 23 for Bitcoin to rise. Hank's got low 80 now on there. Man, the whole COVID thing. I've been thinking about that, guys. Right now here in the U.S. anyway, I don't know. Is it anywhere that you guys are living that it's a mandatory? That's mandatory to get the vaccine? I know here in the U.S. they wouldn't dare make it mandatory until the FDA fully gave the go-ahead on it. Right now, all these vaccines that were released were under this emergency thing that they can do, which says, yeah, probably okay. But we haven't gone through the same scrutiny that we normally go through, right? But as they continue to do that and they get to that point where they can, honestly, I can see governments saying it's going to be mandatory. What do you mean it can't be mandatory? Sure it can. Sure it can. Don't think it can. Government can make you do anything it wants. You're over in the Netherlands. You should know. They take all that tax money from you. And heaven forbid they do it that way where they exclude you from things. I can see it right now. That they would exclude you from being able to travel. No public transportation. No buses, no planes, no trains. No grouped automobiles. And especially for the planes and whatever. I mean, that's if they were to say you can't travel via plane if you don't have it. I mean, that's basically making it mandatory for most of the population. Yeah, so get your private plane. Yeah, I'm getting ready to hopefully here within this next year, guys. I'm looking to get my my fixed wing and rotary wing licenses. Rotary. My airplanes and helicopters licenses, pilot licenses. So I'm excited about that. I'll do that. I just toured a nice area, a nice small community in Austin, down by the lake, a couple of weekends ago. One of the guys out there had his helicopter on his lawn. I was like, it's my kind of place. Let me see here. Sure earned it. We'll see. Oh man. You got those condos built around small airstrips where you are? Yeah, I saw what's his name? The pilot, the actor who's a pilot. What's his name? John Travolta. His house. He's actually got it. I think he's got something about what you're talking about, the condos, but they're houses. And they your airplane kind of pulls right up to your house, and you've got the whole kind of walkway into the house and everything, but you got the landing strip right there. So yeah. Yeah, I tell you right, I think this talking about the same idea, just his is like a house thing. I think it's in Florida or something. Those are crazy, man. Flying communities. I might have to look one of those up. Those are kind of crazy. Anyway, so yeah, again, a lot of unknowns right now, guys, but I'm going to be honest with you. The dollar's really trying to make a case right now for the move up, and it explains a lot of what's going on in the bond markets and other things we've seen. You guys know everything's been overheated, right? All the markets are overheated. Look at lumber. By the way, did any of y'all catch my my post here on Twitter? God, I think it was last week. Let me see here. With the lumber and Bitcoin Cash. I know Hank caught it. Oh, wait, I didn't have it here. Look right here. Here, look at this, man. So there's lumber and there's Bitcoin Cash. And they both basically hit the 1700 level. And now they're both doing the 500 to 300 area. I thought it was kind of interesting that they both did the same thing around the same time. But again, everything's been heated up coming into this this past year here, guys. Let me see here. There's a small community there in Washington, north of Seattle, called Air Park. You can taxi your plane right out of your personal hangar to the runway. My only problem I think I would have for that is just how noisy it might be. How often are people flying in and out? I mean, I'm cool if I'm flying in and out. I'm not so cool if everybody else is. I'll be honest with you. That's kind of my one thing I think would draw up there. Yeah, I know. John Travolta, that dang Boeing 707. Crazy stuff, man. Anyway, so what else we got here? So we looked at DXY, we looked at Bitcoin, we looked at, you know what? Oil. I wanted to talk about oil, guys. Oil is usually like the canary in the coal mines when it comes to commodities. And so oil appears to have found its top here. Let's see. Let's pull this up. At least locally here. Yeah, look at this huge move down, guys. So I've got what I believe is wave 4 in progress here. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4 here. Still looking for 5 to come on down here around potentially that 64 level. Maybe even a secondary move down here to the secondary target down here at 60.5. But a lot of that movement with the USD against the loonie has been a result of this. But of course, it's this in combination with... get back here real quick. With this right here, this move up. So, dollar's doing this move up. Oil's doing this move down. And so your USD CAD ends up being, again, a commodity currency. And so, it gets hit hard when oil's moving down because Canada gets so much of its revenue, a significant portion of it from its oil. From selling oil and exporting oil. And so, if the price of oil is dropping, that's a big hit on it. And then at the same time, the dollar rising in value, it becomes this significant, play there, which is why it's been so good for making money here lately. So, yeah. I didn't mean to get y'all into the whole COVID thing. Y'all hush up. Y'all got to argue about the silliest things. Don't worry about it. Let me see here. So yeah, so, again, looking for this move down here with oil to continue. Again, I think this is probably wave A. So if we come and zoom out here, 3, 4, 5, and that's A. And then looking for that B is likely going to get us down here into the 40s. I like this 40.5 area kind of here, this high volume node. So 5 down, 3 up, maybe 5 more down. Could get caught in this upper 40s, but I like this lower 40s better. And then you'll have C moving back up, which will take it in probably in the mid hundreds for it there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But that just gets us that ABC, and then we should have this large move back down when that happens. So that's what I'm kind of looking at with that. Let me see here. Let me see. So that's oil there. Yeah, natural gas continues moving up here. Lead page. Yeah, so natural gas just kind of, following the flow here. We've got this move up here. We want to make sure we can get this continuation up further. Looking for a wave 3 minimum right there, about 3.912. Secondary up here at the R3 pivot, 3.953. So basically we're looking for 3 up there, 4 to pull back to the range highs here, 5 up, 4 pulls back above the range highs, and then 5 up kind of as it's moving off there. Higher volume node there in this area on the 1 hour. Let me zoom out here a bit. Kind of got this thing going on here. We had this large move right here, this flat correction for wave 2. So 1 up here, 2 down here. Going up for 3. A little larger move off that. Of course, coming off this right here. Just looking for that breakout of this descending resistance. Now, if we get rejected at this resistance here before it, and we start coming back down here, this suggests that we might still have this lower low to go below $1 here. Potentially around, 80, 85 cents or so. So we'll see what happens with it. We want that breakout above this swing high to kind of say, okay, that bottom is definitely in here. June of last year there at, what was that, $1.50, $1.51 or so. So yeah. Let me see here. What else we got here? Silver, silver breaking down a bit finally. Getting some good move down. Let's kind of get this in here. There we go. So yeah, drop down below wave 3 here. Looking for wave 5, potentially down here around 24.215. That's 5 of 3. Probably looking for it to get down here low 20s. You can see we've got some bullish divergence right here, so it's probably setting up for a move up. Initial target here is 24.625. Secondary target is 24.215. But that should just be 3 of 4. So 4 should pull up, and then 5 again get you that lower target there. This is the 1 hour chart. 4 hour chart, we're nice and low down here. Stochc RSI daily, we're just dipping back in. But again, remember, this is just that local count, but we're still watching for the possibility that maybe we've got a triangle going on here. So A, B, C, D, and then E falling out here. But if we drop below 23.74, that invalidates that current triangle. That doesn't mean you can't have an A, a B, and then this is A, B, C here. So your first thing, the current triangle is 23.74. You have to remain above that. But to remove all symmetrical triangle possibilities, you got to get below wave A over here at 21.81. If you drop below that, then all the symmetrical ideas are gone, and we're headed back down there. Again, my big issue, as I've talked about here, is this range, is that all this volume that came off here on the spike at the high up here. That's a huge volume spike coming in at the top of the range. That's significant to watch there, but we'll see how the rest of this plays out here. Again, you see another bit of volume, another spike of volume here on the drop right here as well. We're sitting right there at the S1 pivot on the daily. So we'll see how this works out from here, but we got those local ones to kind of talk about. Let me see here. Gold, let's see. Gold. Oh, gold got that hard sell-off here. This right up here reached the 65% retracement area. A huge drop-off here. Drop below the ascending channel support. Drop below the swing low here. This what would be wave 2. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a flat correction here. We've dropped below wave 1. We want to get below wave B down here. And then, of course, the larger wave B of this larger wave 2. But locally here, wave 3 looking at a minimum of 1784.10 right there. This is the bigger picture here. I've got a 1 on the way down, and this is a 2 up here. So looking at much further potential downside on this. You know, if it does it. Again, we need, confirmation to move down. We really would need to see it get below this wave B over here at 1677. Because as you can see here, if we got the 12-hour, this is I've got 5 down here for 1 or A, and then we've got A, B, C to finish this off, and then looking for further down. This gives us a 5 right here off of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of at least 1535 or so. But we'll see as it plays out here. Does it overextend and whatnot as it's doing it there? Hey guys, guess what? You're not going to convince each other or anybody else to get the vaccine or not, okay? So it's no use arguing about it online, guys, okay? What do we know? We know Johnson & Johnson, the FDA is putting a warning on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because they had, what was it? I can't remember what the disease was that was becoming more significant with those who had taken it. Not that it was becoming significant overall, guys, but just that they noticed that the cases of it were 3 times what the cases were of non-vaccinated. It's not that it's all of a sudden there's a huge bit of people out there getting this, but it was 3 times. What was it? Gosh, dog it. And this isn't FUD, guys. This isn't to tell you anything else. It's just, I think if you're getting them, I think stay away from Johnson & Johnson. Because of what's going on there. Let me see here. Guillain-Barré disease. That's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, like I said, guys, it's not that that there's all these huge new cases. It's just that people who with the prevalence of that disease showing up is 3 times greater in people who have gotten that Johnson & Johnson vaccine than those who hadn't. So that's all. All right. Yeah, Mark G, thank you. Yes, exactly. Yeah, all this is new stuff, guys. It is what it is. You guys know my personal story with all this and what's going on there. I'm not here to convince anybody to take it or not. We're all human beings. We've got our choices to make in life, right? That's the great thing about being human. You've got choices. You just have to be willing to live with whatever, results come of them. Responsibility. So, yeah. But anyway, let me catch here. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, guys, hey, I love y'all, man. All of y'all, whether you agree or not with each other on it. I promise you're not going to convince each other or anybody else whether they should take it or not. So it doesn't really do any good to argue about it online, right? But anyway. Let me see here. Wait, the markets, man. Let's take a look at the markets here real quick. Well, let's look at bonds here real quick first. Everything's real quick, right? TLT here, guys. Still following the thing here. 1, 2. It looks like this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Might be starting a bit early. I had the wave 3 target up here at about 153.95. It looks like it might be a little lower here. Let's see what we've got here. All in all, people still go to TLT. Again, that means that people are fearful of the markets. increasingly fearful. It only gets to the 123.6, man. We might just see... oh, wait, no. Wait, yeah. That's that. We might see this become like wave 1 of 5 here. Rather than playing 5 up here to minimal 155.56 and finishing it off, we might see this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here around that R3 pivot on the 4 hour, and that'll just be wave 1 of Roman numeral 5. So we'll get a 1, a pullback for a 2, and then 3, 4, 5 heading up there, in which case, instead of a minimum of 155.56, we might be looking at something more along the lines of maybe up here at 166.98, depending on how far it plays out there. So, I guess just something to think about there. It could also end up being an any diagonal here. This could be like an A, B, and then C as a 1 and a 2. ABC as a 3, a 4, ABC as a 5. But that'll still, get you up there. If this is ABC as a 1, you might still be looking up here at 162 to 165 kind of area. Finish it off, Let me see here. Chris, I feel I've asked this before, but when you talk about Bitcoin dipping very briefly to Goblin Town, like 1,000 or something, yeah, if that were to happen, right. But you teach to wait for confirmation. Do you keep some small percentage of standing limit bids to catch wicks in that case? No. I don't worry. Here's the thing, guys. I don't worry about catching falling knives. I trade when my hours are there. If something happens when I'm not trading, when it's not my time to be trading, I don't worry about it. If I miss a swing low or I miss a swing high, it is what it is. Okay? So, I don't give a whole lot. I don't worry about having to get that absolute low or anything like that. Yeah. Pedro, what's up, man? You pretty sure if you Google it, you'll find evidence of Michael Jackson alive? By the way, where are the glasses? Oh, I've got them right here. They were bothering my head today, so I've still got them right here. Yeah, I've been wearing them a lot, but I think just trying to get used to them. It's giving me a bit of a headache lately. So just working on it. Andrew, I thank you, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let me see. What's up, Devin? I see you checking in, man. But yeah, so I think we've still got higher overall to go here with TLT, which again should mean more fear still in the in the equities markets. Let me see here. If we check out what we got here, we've got the Nasdaq here. This is the composite, by the way, guys. Make sure you know that. I think it ended up with... I was looking for it to come a little bit lower here to the S2, but it looks like it might have finished up where right there above it. And then we've got an A, B, C right now. So let's see what that pullback is. Yeah, 50%. 61.8 is right here at the pivot. So I think that's going to be your wave B there. And then we'll have that move down with wave C. Or it's potentially a 1-2. Right now, I'm giving bulls the benefit of the doubt. If we go from about where we're at, that gives us a wave C target. Wave C will equal wave A right here around 13.889.20. So that's where I would be looking for that wave 4 to kind of complete there. And then, so I need 5 waves down, and then I need 5 waves up above wave B here to kind of say, okay, that 4's probably there, 5's heading up. But again, as I said, it's, it's possible this could be 5, and this is just 1-2 here. And if this is just 1-2, then wave 3 is down here at 13.516. And that gives you a wave 5 down here at 13,290. Which gets you kind of down toward this congestion down here, this demand down here. So right now I'm giving, you know, again, bulls the benefit of the doubt, looking for this being a 3 and then this being a 4 here. But keeping an eye, you know, keeping an open mind that it may fall further. And if it does, you know, looking for what we're looking at there. Let me see here. Telluride says his prescription reading glasses are way too strong. Look good on the flippy lens thing in the office, I guess, but I got to get them redone. Yeah. I think I get the same way with my sunglasses. I got prescription sunglasses too. And it seems like there's a little bit of blurriness with them, which really doesn't help when I'm driving, right? Don't want blurriness when you're driving. So yeah. Hank. Oh man. Let me see here. But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of looking at there. So if we jump, you remember Nasdaq is heavily tech driven. I saw a news thing this morning about what's her name? That has oh man, my brain is completely fried this morning. ARK. She bought something like $53.8 billion worth of Square, in case you guys are interested in that, between two of the ETFs. She bought it last week, I guess Friday or whatever, after Dorsey mentioned that Square was opening a new division that was devoted to DeFi on Bitcoin. Kathy Wood, yes. I love that y'all jumping in there with that. But yeah, so for her ARK stuff, she bought $53.8 billion of Square. So if you guys are interested, in following what Kathy's doing there, you might be interested in the whole Square thing. You know, she thinks of deflation in terms of technology, which is something you should think about as well. You know, as technology gets better, you produce more for less. It has a deflationary effect. It's not the same as a monetary deflation, but it does have that same kind of effect thing going on. Let me see here. But yeah, so the Nasdaq is very tech driven, guys. Don't forget, I keep telling you that. E-minis, your SPX, still decently heavy with tech, but not as heavy as Nasdaq. And so with that, we've kind of got this going on here. I think we're done with one here. I think we might have a 1, 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think maybe we have a 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think is what we're doing here. Due to how far this is pulled back. It could still be 4. It hasn't gone into wave 1 yet. But, you're here at 70.5. You're usually thinking that's a wave 1 at that point. So I think maybe 1... I guess this would have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I think we've got that 3 and 4 done here, which gives us a 5 right there at the S3 pivot. Now we've got A, B, and working on C here. We're printing right now a bearish engulfing candle. I think it's probably a good place to short. We hit the 70.5. That's perfect. Bearish engulfing on the 1 hour. We got another 28.5 minutes left to go on that. We got this strong move up, so we should at least get a move down to this area first. I think it's a good short right now. Let's see here. So that gives us then that 5 there. Let's see. Yeah, so right now I think I'm going to go with this as a... Let's do this. I think I'm going to look at this as an ABC to begin with. I know I've got 5 up here, potentially topped out, but for the moment, we'll see if we can get an ABC on this, kind of like the other one. We'll look at that first. And so from here, if this is an ABC, wave C will equal wave A from where we're currently sitting. Right here at 41.6725. Now, some thoughts here. We need to see price break down below wave B to add confidence to this count. If it does break out above wave 2 here, that'll be fine because we got 5 down. But if we're breaking out above the swing high, you know, obviously that invalidates that. But if this is just an ABC, and this is 3, not 5, so then this becomes 4, then, you know, we'll look a minimum of 41.67 this around this S4 area here. But if we're getting to this S4 area, I think, you know, most likely we'll hit the S5 down here, right around 41.30. However, if price continues getting down here to 4,072, then I think we've got a 1, 2, 3. We'll have a 4 back up there, then a 5 down here around 4,014.5. And then that'll be A, B, C, or 1, 2. If this is really the top, that would be like a 1, 2, 3 kind of continuing down. So yeah. Yeah, that's Raul's take as well. Similar, the deflationary effect of technology. There's just going to be a mind-blowing stuff coming from crypto and DeFi. Low friction, trade anything paired with anything, anytime, etc. Yeah, a lot of possibilities out there. You know, we'll just have to see if it plays out. I'm like you guys, you know, I'm just like you guys. You know, I bought in there in 2017, holding on to that, you know, buying on as we continue to go here. And, you know, I know sometimes I give you those Bitcoin possibilities that you don't want to hear, but I don't do it to upset you or to be some idiot. I do it because these are realistic possibilities that we need to consider. Because my thought here is that if you're here, you really want to learn something. You really want to, you know, you don't just want to be, you know, to have smoke blown up your rear end. And so, you know, I'm going to give you the honest look at things and see how it goes. But, you know, I never guarantee that price is going to do anything. It's always, you know, if it's going to do this, then we need to see it move through here. And if not, if it goes this other way through this other level, then that's not going to happen. And instead, we're looking at this other thing. And that way, you've always got some kind of roadmap, depending on how it goes. I think that's what most traders struggle with, is a roadmap. Not in the middle of a trend, but at the end of a trend. What happens there? Again, everybody, you know, and their grandmother being told to continue buying all the way here, all the way through here. But that doesn't do you any good if price is dropping down here to 17,000 or, you know, even lower, right? It's important to understand what the possibilities are. Doesn't matter what I think's most likely to happen. You guys, you know, not y'all really. I think y'all understand now, but new traders that come in and they haven't been listening to me, they often ask, you know, well, you know, where is it likely going? What, you know, what's going to happen? What are your thoughts about where it's going to go? And I can give you my thoughts all day long. That's not a problem, but your intention is to really listen. Either one, that you want my thoughts to confirm what you're thinking, and if they don't, then I'm an idiot, right? Or two, you're going to put too much emphasis on what I think rather than what's going on. Yes, we all have ideas of what may happen, but if you're not trading those ideas exactly, wholly on those ideas, well, then what do they really make? If you come here and you ask me, you know, well, what do you think is going to happen here? And I give you my idea, right? Maybe an idea. Maybe the strongest one that I'm holding at that time. And you go, okay, so then you start trading based on that. But you don't understand, I'm not trading based on that. I'm trading based on the validation, invalidation levels attached to that. Because information can change at all times. The gentleman earlier who asked a question with me and said, you know, about the end of the year for Bitcoin, what's, you know, most likely going on or whatever. And then they right away said, you know, I understand that things can change quickly. Yeah, that's the greatest thing. As a new trader, you have to understand that. Because you don't want to get caught holding on to some thoughts you had in the face of other evidence, you know, telling you that other things are happening. So I get real kind of iffy about it when people are asking it, because I know this is what a new trader generally does. Again, either they just want me to confirm whatever they're emotionally feeling, or they're going to do what I say, what I think is going on there, but they don't understand risk management. They don't understand the invalidation and validation levels and how they work and why they're important. I don't just trade off the idea, oh, I think it's going up. I trade off the idea, well, I think this scenario may be, but if it does, it has to go through this area first. And then that'll be the first clue. And then it's got to go up this other area to give me more confidence in it. And that way I've got this, I can build this position or build this idea as it plays out. But I'm not married to whatever that overall final thought is. And I'm able to change if the information changes. So, yeah, you know. But yeah. So I think that's just something really important, guys, that, you know, if you're a new trader and you never heard anybody tell you that, please take it to heart. I'm not here to get you to lose money. I'm here to help you understand how things are, so you get off the emotion and everything that we all start with when we first get into trading. And you learn to start looking at things a different way, so that you've got more of a chance to keep the money you have and even make money. Otherwise, if you continue to be the same way that you were when you first came in, you're really just going to most likely lose your money. And that's awful. There's no reason to do it if you don't have to. And guess what, guys? You don't have to. You don't have to. You know, everything's decisions. We have to live with the consequences of whatever those decisions are. Okay? So, just kind of thinking about that as we look at this. Yeah, like I said, you know, oil just taking that hit right now. Dollar keeps rising. You know, Bitcoin's just doing what it can. I don't, you know, I've given you my reasons why I think, you know, why I can't just say it's definitely going down yet. But, you know, none of those reasons mean that it can't go down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's important that y'all recognize that, y'all understand that. I'm giving you the possibilities here for Bitcoin that I'm looking at, larger term, what it may mean. I'm not upset if it goes down. Excellent buying opportunities. Same thing we continue to watch. But there is that slight chance it may be bottomed out. But we need that move up that I talked about. If you're just getting into this late, just rewind to the beginning of the stream, the beginning of the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah. But anyway, so there you go, guys. It's the end of the time here, so I'm going to go ahead and get going. As always, really appreciate you guys jumping in. Yeah, I saw y'all kind of going a little crazy there. I felt like I was just talking to myself here. You know what I feel like? I feel like those musicians that play at like a local bar or something, and everybody else is talking all over. They're playing the guitar, doing their thing, playing their music, and everybody's just talking like they're not even listening. And there was Obi. Always good to see you checking in. But anyway, guys, yeah. So you know what? Hey, listen. If you didn't see it, scroll to the beginning of the video. Look in the chat there. There's a code there that you can use at howtotradeTowin.com. You can join us on a 6-month or a 12-month tier 3. Really inexpensive, cheapest we've ever done it. We've still got that going right now. 3 live streams a week, over 100 hours of video education. So much stuff. I gave a link for Elliott Wave, which has a 14-day free trial. It's your next step up from TradingView. Gives you more power. Has the automated Elliott Wave count, stuff like that as well, depending on where you get what you get. You can lease it or you can purchase it. I purchased it. Let me see here. And then they've got a sale right now through like another 6 days or so, I think. So you can jump in there on the 14-day trial and try it out. And if you decide that you really like it as much as I do, you can jump in there more. If you're a member of Texas West Capital, paid member there, no matter if you're tiers 1, 2, or 3, you'll get access. I'm putting together some training videos on Motive Wave, like I did with TradingView, that y'all will have access to. So you'll have that as well. But that's what I use to trade with. I use TradingView here because y'all have it. You're comfortable with it. And then on, in Discord, it's easy to share live charts and stuff. But for my other personal bit, I use Sierra charts and I use Motive Wave. So anyway, check back on that as well. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great day as always. Y'all take care. I didn't mean to get you guys off the rails there with the, talking about COVID and what's coming up with that and, other things that are going on and, things are what they are. But anyway, I hope to God, I really hope I get to see you guys over in Discord. But if not, we'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time as always. Remember, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. All right, guys? If you're serious about trading, get serious about trading. I see a lot of people goofing off with memes and silly stuff online. And, it is what it is. You guys choose what you want out of life, right? I think if you're a committed trader and really serious about it as a passion, not as a hobby, as something you can really make a difference with, I don't think there's a lot of time left to goof off and say silly things online about other people and whatever. But that's just me. I'm old. I hope you guys have a great week. Y'all take care. Those of you that are in there from TWC, I'll see you guys over in Discord in a bit, okay? Take care, everybody.